right, how is everybody doing? Good to see you all, my friends. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to do a little comparative analysis and a little story time about the origins of the metric system. So, they were developed, the metric system was developed in the 1800s from the French colonizers who have ancient royal bloodlines all the way to Babylon, ancient Egypt. So they're different people, but the soul group and the family lineage is the same. And the development of the metric system is an antithetical existence to the natural existence. So where does the imperial system of measurement come from? Right, the same individuals usurped the original imperial measurement system, which was actually the native measurement system based on the golden mean ratio. Some people call it the Fibonacci sequence. Some people call it the spiral ratio. This has a lot of different names. And so they usurped this ancient natural measuring system and replaced it with this language of imperial system as opposed to the metric system, right? And then when you look into the origins of the metric system, they attempt to say that it was based on the natural tendencies in the existence, but of course this is just a smokescreen for the unread. So this is a really big topic, of course, and we're just going to go into kind of the basic fundamentals. I go in a lot deeper in my white papers available at sattvanada.org, as well as in my personal one-on-one yoga classes. So when we study the metric system, we see that a lot of the technology is based on the metric system. And for instance, microwaves from the sun. Micro comes from the metric system. It's been shown to destroy DNA in certain conditions, of course, having to do with low nutrition and things like that. So we use microwaves in our home to heat food, right? They use microwaves to literally the microwave, very similar type of microwave that humans use to heat their food, which you should just use a flame fire if it's possible for you. The microwaves, they use it to cause genetic mutation when they're doing genetic engineering in these scientific laboratories, very secret laboratories around the world. So microwaves are inherently dangerous, and again, they're based on the metric system of ones and zeros. So this all leads back to the ancient AI. Some people call it the DEVIL, some people call it the demiurge, some people call it has lots of different names. It's had different names over the ages in human societies. And we want to be aware of this stuff so that we can defend ourselves from it, because just like they used to say in the old churches, the greatest feat of this presence is fooling the humans into thinking that it doesn't exist. But of course it does exist, and one of its footprints are the metric system. So when we go and examine our technological communications, again, they are using millimeter waves, which is again based on the metric system, which injures the body and breaks apart DNA, even though they say that's only ionizing radiation that does that. But non-ionizing radiation from communications arrays, as well as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GSM, PlayStations, all kinds of different technologies that they say are safe, but all of these technologies have a very similar impact on human biology, molecular biology, a very similar impact to ionizing radiation, even though they attempt to tell us it's non-ionizing radiation. And if you're interested in that, you can look at my paper online called The Dipole Affectation of Alternating Current in Molecular Human Biology, available at sattvanada.org. So they say imperial measuring system. And of course, this is a smokescreen to delude thinkers into discovering or learning about the true origins of the Imperial system, which again is just the native measuring system on planet Earth. So we're going to go into a couple of things here. We're using the cubit today for our evidence. An ancient unit of length based on the distance from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger, primarily associated with Sumerians, Egypt, and Israelites, meaning the original Israelites who were African from the subcontinent. The term cubit is found in the Bible regarding Noah's Ark, the Ark of the Covenant, the Tabernacle, Solomon's Temple. So the cubit is used in many different ancient technological installations, the Giza Plateau, probably the Aztec pyramids, Göbekli Tepe. So when we start to compare the different systems, we see that 1 yard equals 2 cubits. It's a perfect multiple, right? So when we look at a foot or a yard, 3 feet is 3 feet of each feet being 12 inches. And we see this number a lot. 12, 12, 12. Why? Because it's an existence parameter. The physics of existence use the natural elements of the universe, parameters, mechanics, to create life and to create all of the visual and existential phenomena. So we see this number 12 a lot. 12 weeks in the first trimester, 12 hours in the first half of the day, 12 months in a year. So we see this number 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, especially in the ancient civilizations. And it's because it relates heavily to existence mechanics as being an embodied creature. Okay. So again, if you need help, any questions, just send me a message or schedule an appointment. Savanana.org. So 1 cubit has to do with the relation to the speed of light. And the speed of light is not necessarily a speed, as it is a rate. So this is a big topic, but like the speed of a wave in the ocean, right? It's not necessarily a speed; it's a rate. You get it? So this is a big technique that they use to delude our knowledge base. And we see here that the Giza pyramid uses cubits, sacred cubit, and that's another thing, sacred. You see that term a lot when referencing the cubit. So why is this important? Why is the Giza pyramid constructed in cubits? Why is the relation to the rate of the speed of light referred to in cubits? Why is there such a specific relationship with the 12-inch foot, the 3 feet per yard, 2 yards to a cubit? When we use the imperial, quote unquote, the native measuring system to build and construct things, we're doing so within the existential parameters. So everything is thus having a harmonic, a positive harmonic that supports life. When we build things in the metric system, 010101, from the AI signal, the devil, the demiurge, has a lot of names. That system is based in an antithesis to life so that it can actually sustain itself off of our native energy. And this is a big topic, of course, that we go over in my private yoga classes. But today we're talking about the positive nature of construction when we use the native system of measurements, right? The reason why the cubit has to do with our literal body, the measurement of our body, is because, just like with the Fibonacci sequence or the golden mean ratio that we see in nautical, like the Nautilus, or different representations, especially in ancient Egypt, looking at the fractal dynamics in existence, organisms and trees and plants, this type of thing, we see that every living system uses some derivation of the qubit because they're taking advantage of this harmonic quality. Just like in music, why does music sound good to us? Because it's taking advantage of these harmonic qualities. Why does music have a positive effect on the C word? Why does it retard the C word growth? Why does certain music based on these harmonic qualities support life, and plants get bigger with less water, and this type of thing? Is because it's all based on the harmonics. That's why they create the qubit. That's why they documented the qubit. That's why they build everything in qubits. And from our perspective, we call it the Imperial measuring system, even though that's a delusion, because they're attempting to get us all onto this metric system. So the Imperial measuring system is actually the native form of measurement that when we build our house, build a table, anything, it will use the qualities or the mechanics documented in the ancient tradition of feng shui, for instance. And so anything in the existence or based on these existence parameters will be more healthy. Okay, this is a big path to healing that I'm sharing. Again, recover deep in yogic meditation, so that everybody else who can hear this wisdom can transmit it to their loved ones and their friends and family, and then have them begin to practice using it. And this is a path to healing that I'm sharing with you. So again, we want to reduce the metric, anything that's built using metrics. We want to emphasize anything that's built with the natural native system of Fibonacci, golden mean ratio, golden spiral qualities, like the Giza Plateau, and especially this is a big topic, of course, but this system of harmonics extends from the existence, like a knock on wood, like a solid existential quality, to even this is very difficult to explain, but non-physical phenomenon taking place within this existence parameter that we call music or sound or color or light. All of these things are interrelated, and that's why we want to emphasize the native measurement system especially when we're creating anything, especially when we're creating something for living things. So if we're building anything for humans, if we're building anything for pets or animals or plants, we want to use the native measuring system within these harmonics that are forever enshrined in these Giza plateaus and these other ancient building sites, because they all use the same native measuring system. We want to emulate these systems to create these things in the physical existence to fulfill or to support the life of our friends and family, plants and animals, and even rocks. So I hope everybody's doing well today. Thank you very much, my friends. It's good to see you all, and until next time.